Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into the heart and soul of a nation. We're talking about a place that's like a cultural anchor in one of the world's most incredible, fast-paced cities, the Bangkok National Museum. If you've ever been to Bangkok, you know exactly what this quote is talking about. It's that feeling, right? The neon lights, the smells of amazing street food, that constant buzz of energy. It is absolutely electrifying. But let's be honest, it can also be a lot. And after a while, you find yourself looking for something to, I don't know, ground you. A way to really connect with the story of this amazing country. And that, my friends, is exactly where this museum comes in. It is the perfect antidote. Seriously, it's not just some stuffy building with a bunch of old objects. Think of it more like a key. A key that unlocks the incredible stories of Thai art, culture, and history. It's the place that really grounds you. So here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll get into the museum's super interesting origin story. Then we'll check out 3 of its superstar treasures. After that, a quick masterclass in Thai art so you know what you're looking at. And we'll wrap up with some essential tips for your visit. All right, let's jump right in. And this first part is one of my favorite things about the museum because its origin is, well, it's probably not what you're expecting. It's all about its royal beginnings. So just look at this place. I mean, it doesn't really scream museum, does it? And that's because it wasn't built to be one. You're actually looking at the historic Wang Na, or Front Palace. This was the home of the Uparaj, who is basically the heir to the throne, the vice king. So yeah, when you step inside, you are literally walking through the halls of royalty. So how did it become a museum? Well, the whole story kicks off in the late 1800s. After the last vice king passed away, the palace was empty. And the king at the time, the very forward-thinking King Rama V, saw a huge opportunity. See, his own royal collection of treasures was getting way too big for its home. So, in 1887, he decided to move the whole collection right into the empty front palace. And just like that, the National Museum was born. But here's the really crucial part. This was so much more than just a move. It was a massive deal for Thailand's modernization. You gotta remember, at this time, Western powers were colonizing all over the region. So King Rama V did something brilliant. He used this museum to build a strong, unified Thai identity. It was his way of showing the world and his own people the incredible depth of their culture. It was a seriously smart strategic move, taking private royal treasures and turning them into a public symbol of the nation's soul. Okay, so now that we know how it started, let's get to the good stuff. What's actually inside? The collection is huge. I mean, you could spend days in there. So instead of trying to cover everything, we're going to zoom in on a few of the absolute must-see masterpieces, the ones that tell the biggest stories. Yeah, think of these next 3 pieces as storytellers. Each one is like a window that opens up to one of the huge themes of Thai culture: spirituality, royalty, and of course, artistry. And our first superstar is a big one. This is one of the most sacred, most revered Buddha images in the entire country. It's called the Phra Phuttha Sihing. Now, this isn't just an artifact behind glass. It's a living, breathing, sacred site. It's housed in its very own chapel, and when you step inside, you can almost feel the air humming with centuries of devotion. The statue itself is just breathtaking. But please, whatever you do, don't forget to look at the walls. They are completely covered with these incredible 18th century murals that tell the Jataka tales, the stories of the Buddha's past lives. The whole room is one complete spiritual story. All right, next up, we're shifting gears to something totally different, but just as mind-blowing: the Royal Victory Chariot. I mean, just look at this thing. It is genuinely awe-inspiring. It's this massive, colossal masterpiece of intricately carved and gilded teakwood. Its job? To carry the urns of high-ranking royalty during their cremation ceremonies. When you stand next to it, you just get this immediate, powerful hit of the sheer splendor of the Thai monarchy. It's the whole idea of the divine king made real through just unbelievable craftsmanship. It's art on a truly monumental scale. Okay, so we've seen immense royal power. Now let's turn to an icon that captures a different kind of power: the sublime power of the spirit. And that is the Sukhothai Walking Buddha. This style was a total game changer. Just look at those elegant, flowing lines. It almost looks like it's moving, right? The artists from the Sukhothai period were absolute masters at that, and they made a really interesting choice.
They created this androgynous, almost genderless form. They were moving away from a literal physical body to really emphasize the Buddha's spiritual essence. What you get is this perfect mix of grace and inner power that became a hallmark of Thai art.
So, speaking of that Sukhothai style, let's take a quick second for a mini masterclass. I'm going to give you a couple of keys so you can start to decode the secrets of Thai art for yourself.
This is such a great way to see the evolution. On the left, that's the earlier style, heavily influenced by Khmer art. You see how it's powerful, muscular, very masculine, right? Now look over to the right. The Sukhothai style is a total 180. It's all about being graceful, slender, almost otherworldly. And this wasn't just a random change in taste. It was a conscious decision to create a uniquely Thai look. Okay, here's a term for you to drop to sound like you know your stuff. The Ushnisha. See that flame-like halo on top of the Buddha's head? That's it. It's not just a cool design. It's a super important symbol of the Buddha's enlightenment and wisdom. And trust me, once you know what it is, you'll start seeing it everywhere. And there you go. Now you have the key. You can start to spot these different styles and symbols and really appreciate how Thai artists took all these different influences and created their own totally distinct visual language. Pretty cool, right? All right. Let's switch gears and get practical, because if you're feeling inspired to go see this all for yourself, which you totally should be, I've got a few tips to make your visit absolutely perfect. First, getting there. Look, you do not want to get stuck in Bangkok traffic. My advice? Take the SkyTrain and then hop on a Chao Phraya express boat. It's scenic, it's fun, and honestly, you get to see the city from its main artery, the river. For timing, try to get there right when it opens at 9 a.m. You'll beat the big crowds and, more importantly, the brutal midday heat. And my #1 insider tip, for real, is to get the audio guide. It gives you so much incredible context that really makes everything you're seeing come to life. You know, when it's all said and done, this museum is just so much more than another spot on a tourist map. In a city like Bangkok that's changing at lightning speed, this place is a guardian. It's that cultural anchor, connecting this incredibly vibrant modern country to its deep, deep roots. Because at the end of the day, history isn't just something you look at behind glass, right? It's something you feel. You feel it in the air in a place like this. So when you finally walk through those royal halls, surrounded by the echoes of kings and artists, the only real question is, what story is it going to tell you?